All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm talking about how to successfully plan a month. So it's June 1st. As I'm recording this, I just woke up, had a sales call, made a sale. Pretty nice. Good way to start the month. Looks like this will be a $4,000 or $5,000 day today to start off the month, which is awesome. And I just want to talk about how to successfully plan a month. How to look at a month and be like, all right, this is what I'm going to do this month, so that I know what I'm going to do this quarter, so I know what I'm going to do this year, so I know what I'm going to do this decade. You know, it's like how to do that. But before we get into this, I want to say a couple things. First of all, if you are ready to take the leap, we've got some free slots on my personal calendar available for consultations regarding the six-figure marketing consultant program. And if you're interested in that, we've got some links in the description. Pinned comment should be a link to that. And then also we've got some more free resources. We've got a Facebook group you can join. Link will be in the description for that. It's about 1,500 people in there, all agency owners, consultants, or coaches, people trying to grow their done-for-you businesses. And then I've also got an Instagram page, which allows you to sort of see stories, daily updates of what I'm doing. It's a great place to follow along. And also, if you DM me over there, you're almost guaranteed to get a response at the level that I'm at now with how big, the audience is. I can pretty much tend to everybody over there. So there's just a couple good options for you if you need some more help, need a community, need some questions answered. So that being said, let's get into the video. I want to help you guys with how you plan your months. So there's a couple things you want to consider, and I'm actually going to set up my phone so that I don't have to hold it the whole time because my arms are really tired from a good workout. Okay, sweet. So how do you plan a month? How do you successfully plan a month? How do you execute on those plans? And how do you make sure that what you're doing is actually moving the needle for you? And I'm gonna make this a very short video because I think it's a very simple thing. I think planning a month is one of the core skills any effective entrepreneur, leader, doer needs to have. And it comes down to knowing what outcomes you're wanting long-term and what chunked outcomes you need to have in order to create that long-term outcome. So there's a concept called chunking, which you start with the end in mind, and then you sort of turn it into chunks. And even if your chunks aren't quite right, they're like only 60-70% accurate to what actually needs to get done, it is way more effective to chunk goals into smaller categories you need to get done than it is to just have one big goal and then get obsessed with it and then get demotivated when you feel like you're not moving towards it, which is what most people do. Most people, they're like, all right, by the end of this month, I'm gonna be at $10,000 profit, and they're at scratch. Right? So they could do it. I literally think you can do it from scratch to $10,000 a month profit in a month from scratch. I've seen people do it. But the problem with setting a goal there without chunking it into pieces is that you're going to be a week in and have nothing done and your motivation is killed because you're too goal oriented. So the first tip is to chunk and to not focus on outcomes, but focus on the process. So your goal isn't to focus on what you're going to get. The goal is to focus on getting done what will allow you to get there. See what I'm saying? You want to attach your emotions to the process and not the outcome. So process over outcome is the first principle you need to understand in order to successfully plan months, quarters, years, decades, lives. Process over outcome. I'm not attached to the outcome. I know this month that will generate, $70,000 to $80,000, but I'm not attached to that. I'm just gonna make it happen. I know what I have to do. Day in, day out, I am focused in that moment, doing exactly what I got to do in that moment. I'm here alone in my apartment working on something that I love, and I'm energized by that, and I'm excited for that. And that's the state you have to get to. So process over outcome, that's the first thing. So next, how do you actually plan? Okay, so I've kind of talked about a principle you need to follow, so how do you actually plan? So here's how I plan my months, and hopefully this brings you some value. You want to sort of separate your goal into three main things that need to happen for that goal to be achieved. And if you join the six-figure marketing consultant, I give you the only three things that matter, for running your agency forever. This is a really important thing that I do in the program because if you don't know exactly what to do, you won't be able to grow. So I'd say these are the only three things you need to do forever to get to where I've gotten. The only three things you need to do. And when people hear that, it blows their mind because they think it's way more complex, but it's really not. So you need to take this goal of, let's say you want to get to six figures this month. Let's say you want to add another $10,000 a month in revenue to your agency. Let's say, you want to add another 5 clients, whatever it might be. Chunk that, process over outcome, and then narrow that into 3 core things. I promise you, if you sit down and you take a pen and a notepad and focus for 10 minutes, you can think, what are the main things that would allow that to happen? For example, let's say you want to add $10,000 a month in revenue to your agency and you're at $10,000 a month right now. You want to double your agency. So in my eyes, it would be these three things. One, make our offer better. Get better at getting results. Get better results this month. Have more confidence in our offer. Two, remove bottlenecks. Get rid of any bottlenecks that would keep these new clients that we're trying to bring in from being able to be onboarded and served swiftly and effectively. And third, develop new or reinvest back into really good client attraction systems. Either develop new ones that work or push the ones that we know work. How did we get these clients? Let's just do that again, right? Maybe set up a referral program for the clients that you've got now. So one of the things that I'm actually doing this month for Co-Media is exactly that. We're setting up a referral program. We've got some big influencers, people who are gonna be sending clients our way. And then I'm pouring $20,000 this month into paid advertising for the education side. So we've got 2 new means of attracting clients. My client delivery systems are finished. The course is great. The agency is great. Got great systems of delivery. So now my goal is to increase inflow. Outflow is handled. My goal is to increase inflow this month. We're doing a JV with a couple really big influencers as well. So we're gonna split profits with the services and offers that we've got. And that alone is gonna add 30 grand this month. And I know that just by doing the math, but that's lowballing it. So once you've got your offers and your services pinned, once you have outflow, you focus on inflow. If inflow is working, outflow is not working, you focus on outflow. So every month you are balancing this sort of tedious, these 2 sides, inflow and outflow. And so if you notice that you've got a lot of inflow but outflow is not working, you should work on outflow for that month. Forget growing your revenue, work on outflow. If you notice that your outflow is working really well but inflow isn't working, work on inflow that month. So I've got a very clear goal this month. I want to add at least 1.5, I want a 1.5x, maybe 2x if I do it really well, my ability to earn with the offerings and services that I have this month, minimum. And I'm gonna do that by partnering with big people, spending more on ads down funnels that I know work, and influencers sending us clients. So I've pinned exactly where I wanna get and I've chunked it into little goals. So it took me 10 minutes to figure that out. Those are the 3 things I'm doing. Those are the only 3 things I'm doing this month. Of course, that and the maintenance stuff that I have to do, like YouTube, sales calls, Q&A calls for the community, client calls, things, you've got maintenance tasks and growth tasks. So that's how you plan a month. Process over outcome, design a goal and chunk it, and then you've got a pretty solid month. And at that point, I would plan the next day before it happens. So as you're going to bed or as you're ending your work day, preferably so that you're still in sort of work mode, plan the next day. All right, what can I do next day that moves me 5 to 10% closer to one of the 3 goals that I've set for this month that I know will help me attain this month's ultimate outcome? So you are obsessed with process in light of the fact that it's going to give you the outcome that you want. And that's how you plan a month, you guys. And that's how I plan this month. June is gonna be a big month. We've already done at least 2 grand today. If not, we'll probably come up on 4 or 5. That's just, recurring payments. That's education side. That's everything combined. So this month, I would like to breach the $100,000 mark this month. We'll see. I'm attached to the process, not the outcome. If it's not this month, I know what will happen within 6 months, at least, at minimum. That's worst case scenario. And that's another thing you can do is worst case scenario thinking. It sounds petty, but negative thinking actually helps positive thinking. Be the kind of person who considers worst case scenario and accepts it. Because then if best case scenario happens, you're happy about it, but you were prepared for the worst case scenario. You're not hinging on the best case scenario happening. You've thought through the worst case scenario. So that's another really important thing when you're planning a month. You've thought through worst case scenario, you've addressed it. Worst case scenario this month, 30, 40 grand maybe. That's worst case scenario. And I'm ready for that. If it happens, it happens. I know a few things that could break that could allow that to happen. And my goal is to pin those in as quickly as I can. But if I can't pin them in, no worries. 30, 40 grand a month is still pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So that's how you plan a month, you guys. I'm not giving you specifics, but I'm giving you kind of mentalities that allow you to have an effective month. And I hope this video was valuable for you. I'm kind of going quick with this one because I got to get to a sales call. So I'm going to hop off and do that now. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you're ready, schedule your call for the 6-Figure Marketing Consultant Program or join our Facebook group and follow me on Instagram. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.